2001, Antwerp, Belgium. Morning fog wraps around the streets of Europe's wealthiest district, the Diamond District. Verse city blocks, where billions of dollars change hands daily. Diamonds, brilliant as God's tears, pass from hand to hand, among people who speak dozens of languages but understand only one, the language of money. At the heart of this diamond empire stands a fortress disguised as an office building. The Antwerp Diamond Center, 12 stories, hiding secrets worth more than small nations. 2 floors below street level lies the most secure vault in the world, 10 layers of security designed by paranoid engineers who assumed their creation was impenetrable. Motion detectors, thermal sensors, magnetic field scanners, seismic monitors. A combination lock with 100 million possible sequences guards the final door. 160 safe deposit boxes holding over $100 million in diamonds, gold, jewelry, cash. Security Chief Henri van de Brandt tells visitors with absolute confidence, "This vault is impossible to rob. You would need to be a magician." He has no idea that 2 floors above, a magician has already begun his greatest trick.
Notarbartolo uses his legitimate keycard to enter the Antwerp Diamond Center through the main entrance. Security cameras record his arrival, but see nothing suspicious about a attendant working late hours in his rented office. Beneath the building, his crew moves through service tunnels mapped during 2 years of reconnaissance. Pro carries electronic equipment worth more than luxury cars, designed to fool security systems costing millions. Fanato brings safe-cracking tools refined through decades of criminal education. They converge at predetermined coordinates 2 floors below street level, where motion detectors sweep corridors in patterns they have memorized down to the second. Pro uses hairspray purchased from a pharmacy and applies it to thermal sensors, creating temporary blind spots in coverage. The spray freezes sensor surfaces, preventing heat detection for precisely 12 minutes before evaporating without trace. Electronic countermeasures disable magnetic field detectors with electromagnetic pulses calibrated to avoid triggering backup systems. Camera feeds switch to recorded loops showing empty corridors, while the crew moves through areas that should be under constant surveillance. Each step unfolds according to plans rehearsed hundreds of times in their warehouse laboratory. Motion detectors sweep past as they freeze in positions calculated to avoid electronic eyes. They advance through gaps in coverage with timing precise as Swiss clockwork. The door that cannot be opened. The massive vault door looms before them, 3 feet of hardened steel, protected by systems designed to defeat armies. Electronic locks, mechanical locks, combination systems, biometric scanners, all working in harmony to create what should be perfect security. But perfect security assumes attackers lack the dedication, resources, and expertise assembled by the Italian crew. Pro connects his electronic equipment to the vault's control systems, unleashing algorithms designed to probe for vulnerabilities in programming created by paranoid engineers. Streams of code flow across his display like digital waterfalls, seeking weaknesses in electronic defenses. The hack progresses through layers of security protocols, each more sophisticated than most people encounter in lifetime careers. Military-grade encryption crumbles under assault from equipment that exists in gray markets, where government and criminals shop for identical tools. Fanato works simultaneously on mechanical systems, applying techniques learned through decades of criminal education. His fingers read vibrations through steel, feeling tumbler movements, invisible to electronic sensors, listening for sounds that indicate successful manipulation. The combination lock requires navigating 100 million possible sequences, but Fanato understands that manufacturing tolerances create subtle variations, mechanical signatures that guide experienced fingers toward correct numbers. 4 sequence complete, he whispers, moving to secondary locks. Electronic systems surrender to Pro's assault as backup protocols fail under sustained attack. Biometric scanners accept false readings generated by equipment that costs more than houses purchased through channels that don't officially exist. Electronic systems compromised, Pro reports, initiating final override sequence. The vault's 17 separate locking mechanisms begin disengaging in carefully orchestrated sequence. Mechanical bolts retract with sounds like muffled gunshots. Electronic circuits surrender to commands that cannot distinguish from legitimate access codes. $100 million awaits. The massive door swings open on silent hinges, revealing the prize that justified 2 years of preparation, millions in equipment costs, and risks that could destroy their lives. 160 safe deposit boxes line the vault walls, each containing fortunes in diamonds, gold, jewelry, cash. The concentrated wealth glows under fluorescent lighting, like an alien treasure chamber designed by gods obsessed with material perfection. They work with mechanical precision, born from months of rehearsal. Fanato attacks deposit box locks using techniques that turn security mechanisms into cooperative partners. Each lock surrenders after brief resistance, revealing contents that exceed their most optimistic estimates. Diamonds pour into specially designed containers lined with foam that prevent scratching. Gold jewelry disappears into cases that distribute weight across multiple carriers. Cash bundles flow into backpacks designed to handle extreme loads without tearing under pressure. Box after box reveals treasures that represent lifetime accumulations of wealth. Diamond merchants' retirement funds, jewelry collections assembled across generations, gold reserves that families saved for emergencies that will never come. The vault transforms from secured storage into the world's most exclusive jewelry store, where everything costs nothing, and payment involves only the courage to take what others protected with paranoid devotion.
120 boxes opened. Fanato reports estimated value exceeds projections by 40%. They worked for exactly 4 hours and 17 minutes, carefully timed to conclude before dawn security patrols returned to full strength. The vault empties systematically as lifetime accumulations of wealth disappear into containers designed for rapid transportation. Electronic countermeasures reverse their effects, restoring security systems to normal operation. Hairspray evaporates from thermal sensors, leaving no trace of temporary blindness. Camera feeds return to live monitoring as recorded loops seamlessly transition back to real-time footage. They exit through the same routes used for entry, leaving behind a vault that appears undisturbed to casual observation. Motion detectors resume normal sweep patterns, detecting nothing unusual in corridors that recently witnessed the greatest diamond theft in history. Notarbartolo departs through the main entrance, his legitimate access providing perfect cover for activities that legally shouldn't have occurred. Security cameras record his exit, but document nothing more suspicious than a businessman completing late-night work. The crew scatters across Antwerp, following escape routes planned with military precision. Safe houses await at strategic locations throughout the city, each stocked with supplies that enable rapid transformation from criminals into ordinary citizens. By sunrise, $100 million in diamonds, gold, and jewelry has vanished into channels that convert stolen goods into untraceable wealth. The fatal error. One piece of garbage destroys everything. The plan was perfect, the execution flawless, the escape complete. They had beaten security systems designed to be unbeatable, outsmarted investigators who specialized in catching uncatchable criminals. But perfection requires maintaining discipline even after success, and success breeds the carelessness that destroys criminal careers. Ferdinando Finotto makes a decision that will haunt him forever. Rather than following established protocols for evidence disposal, he stops along a rural road outside Antwerp and dumps a plastic bag containing meal containers, used gloves, pieces of tape bearing DNA evidence, and handwritten notes. The bag sits beside the road for 3 days until a local farmer notices unusual litter on his property. His complaint to municipal authorities triggers a routine cleanup that places the bag in hands of police officers trained to recognize potential evidence. Inside, investigators find the treasure trove of forensic material: DNA samples from multiple individuals, fingerprints on tape and containers, handwriting that can be matched to specific individuals. Most damaging of all, detailed notes describing security systems and procedures that could only have been written by someone with intimate knowledge of their target. The investigation explodes. International manhunt begins. The discovery transforms a perfect crime into a criminal investigation that spans multiple countries and involves hundreds of investigators. Belgian police coordinate with Italian authorities, Interpol, and intelligence agencies that specialize in tracking international criminal organizations. DNA evidence identifies Fanato within weeks, leading to surveillance that reveals his connections to other crew members. Financial records expose unusual spending patterns, suggesting sudden acquisition of significant wealth. Communication intercepts capture conversations that reference activities suspicious enough to justify deeper investigation. Notal's legitimate business facade crumbles under scrutiny that reveals inconsistencies between reported income and lifestyle expenses. His rental of office space inside the target building transforms from clever cover story into damning evidence of premeditation. Italian police raid properties connected to crew members, discovering equipment that matches tools used in the vault penetration.
safe-cracking devices, electronic countermeasures, specialized containers designed for transporting stolen diamonds, all providing physical evidence linking suspects to the greatest diamond theft in history. The arrests. Perfect crime becomes perfect disaster. Leonardo Notarbartolo falls first, arrested at his Turin home while eating breakfast with his wife. Belgian authorities present extradition papers that detail evidence connecting him to the Antwerp heist through forensic material, financial records, and testimony from witnesses who observed his activities. Ferdinando Finotto follows within hours, captured at a safe house where investigators find diamond-cutting equipment and gem-quality stones that match descriptions of items stolen from specific vault deposit boxes. Pro Tarvano attempts to flee to South America, but falls to international cooperation between police agencies that track his movements through passport records, financial transactions, and electronic communications monitored by intelligence services. Only Elincio remains free, disappearing into criminal networks that understand the value of protecting successful thieves who might provide future opportunities. Notarbartolo was sentenced to 10 years in prison in 2005, released on parole in 2009 with a condition to compensate the heist victims, which he never did. In 2013, he was arrested again at Charles de Gaulle Airport for violating this parole condition and forced to serve the remainder of his sentence until 2017. Fonaro, Tarvano, and Donorio each received 5 years in prison with €5,000 fines. The mysterious King of Keys was never identified or caught. Despite extensive international investigations, 95% of the stolen diamonds remain unrecovered. Many victims, small diamond traders, were wiped out because they had no insurance, trusting the world's safest vault. Notarbartolo maintains he was hired by a mysterious Alessandro and claims it was insurance fraud, but authorities found no evidence of any such partner.